Yes, people, we're live. Ega Talks Football. We got a lot to talk about today. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Before we go any further, we we start off the video with a very sad note. Football legend, Brazil legend, what was it? St. Paulo legend Pele has unfortunately passed away at the age of 82, and it was a peaceful passing. His family has have announced it this evening, and I just wanted to start off the video by discussing that. But before we go any further, I just want to say R.I.P. Pele, and let's start the video. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. So, as you guys already know, what I just said a few minutes ago, you know that unfortunately Pele has passed away. We've known for a little while now that he has not been feeling the best and that this was coming at any moment now. To be honest, a lot of people were prepared for it, but when it's someone of this stature, someone who has is so iconic, who goes down in the same breath as some of the icons in all sports, it's always going to be a shock to the system to a little bit because you grow up hearing about this person's name every single day, and the same way it was when Maradona passed away, or Bill Russell for me at least. I don't know about you guys if you're big basketball fans, but this is massive news in the world of sports, in the world of football. This is a three-time World Cup winner. This is a man who has on record the highest ever goal scorer in world football history, and is just an icon that changed the game forever. Unfortunately, I was never old enough to ever watch him. My dad told me stories about him. My grandparents told me stories about him. Just this is a guy who he's generations through generations. They've just known Pele is the guy. Any move, your favorite move, the Cruyff turn, whatever it is, Pele did it first. That's the reality. This was the guy who did it first. But yeah, let's talk about it, guys. Honestly, we usually talk about Premier League, but today this is bigger than Premier League. This is bigger than one league. This is massive, and it's just sad to hear. But yeah, people in the chat, say what you got to say, but please be respectful. Go ahead. What are you saying,
Yeah.
Bryce?
Yeah, I'm saying he's one of the pillars of the game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like you said, he was one of the guys who was doing it first. Uh, I wasn't, obviously not old enough to watch him, but like in Jamaica, they have like these little books that they used to give out in like primary school, reading stories. They had one about him, and you just read about how he came up, won 3 World Cups, stuff like that. So, and once you're involved in football at all, at any level, any minor interest, the name Pele comes up as it should. Obviously, one of the greatest goal scorers the game has ever seen. One of the greatest players the game has ever seen. His influence is just crazy. Uh, how he how he impacts the game on and off the field. How much of a icon he is, not just in football but in sport. One of the greatest of all time, rightfully so. So seeing that he passed away today, I saw a couple of distasteful things on the timeline, but quickly shut down. Guys had to quickly remove tweets because there's no going around it, man. It's just one of the legends of the game, legend of the world. Simple.
You're mute. You go. You're muted.
He, who's gonna tell him?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, like the rest of you guys, I never got a chance to see Pele play live. But growing up, he's always one of the guys that your elders, the people who know football, who knew football kind of before. They always used to talk about him as being the great. He's the first player that I remember being called the greatest before Maradona and stuff. And never got a chance to see him play, but just the esteem that he was held in, that era before football became what it is now. Where you have your Garinchas, your Cruyffs, your Pelés. He was the guy that most people I think said prior to Maradona was the greatest player ever, and obviously Brazil, the most World Cups ever. He won 3 of them. He won his first one, I think, when he was 17, which was crazy, and having such a massive effect on one of the greatest footballing countries in the world. Um, yeah, obviously thoughts go out to all of those guys because we all know how big football is in Brazil. Legend of the game, and let's not forget, like, one of the pioneers of soccer in the US when he went to New York Cosmos. I can't remember the name of the league before the MLS, but it was a league that had loads of stars going over. It went bust eventually, but the fact that he was one of the pioneers of football in the States is also huge because that's probably the biggest football's ever been in the States until probably up until this period now. Because you had crazy stars going over there and play. So all respect to him, rest in peace, and yeah, thoughts go out to anybody connected with Brazil and connected to Pele.
Let me just show you guys. You can hear me now, right? This was what
Yeah.
Yeah,
his family had to say. Inspiration and love marked the journey of King Pele, who peacefully passed away today. Love, love, love forever. That I'm assuming would be coming from whoever runs his Twitter account or Facebook account, and family, my friends, whoever runs his social media would have posted that. Now, before we go any further, Dami, what did you have to say on this?
Yeah, obviously, rest in peace is probably one of the greatest or the greatest of some as well. It's really very sad to hear, given that when you're the first to do something, you're the first legend to be something. It's always more iconic because obviously you're the one to pave the way. And like Rakesh said earlier, when I was growing up, his name and Maradona's name were the first two I ever heard. But Pele was the first because he was there. 3 World Cups is unheard of. Winning it at 17 and scoring the final as a teenager is obviously unheard of as well. And obviously another angle, which obviously I can use as well, obviously for black people and being the first black legend just to show that we can do it. Even not even just black, but people obviously is it Bane, obviously other backgrounds or lower represented backgrounds to show that we can do it. We can break out of obviously stereotypes. We can challenge with the rest of the world, and we can propel our nation. Because like Rakesh said as well earlier, Brazil is that's in Brazil. Football is like I don't want to say it's a religion, but it's like religion. They worship football. That's all some of them know. And so for Pele, this is like technically, I don't say a god, but you get what I mean, like somebody that is just big. So it's very sad to hear, and see, hopefully, condolences sent to his family as well.
Yeah, Neymar had like a whole obituary for him, man. Honestly, I know Neymar wanted to win that World Cup, and that Brazil team wanted to win that World Cup for him. They wanted to do it for him, but unfortunately they couldn't. But you know what, guys? All we can do is just he will never be forgotten. That's the reality. This guy's name is gonna go down in up there with all the greatest ever athletes, artists, um, everybody, politicians. He's just gonna forever be a legend. Similar to how you'll never forget the Mona Lisa, because I watched the movie recently where they're saying, remember, people want to be remembered like iconic pieces of art or athletes and everything else. And Pele is one of those people look up to say, you know what, if I can even be mentioned in the same breath as Pele. So you know what, it's just crazy that he's passed. But yeah,
just following on from what Danny was saying, like what's also crazy is, and obviously there's racism and discrimination and that all that kind of stuff going on today. You can imagine, like, this is the 50s and the 60s, right? The level of disrespect that people of color have been facing in that period of time, and still to be held up for a significant period of time, if not still, as the greatest player in history, and opening those doors to people of color, not just in football, but just in life, man. I can imagine kids growing up in that time and looking into inspiration, saying, "I can get that. I can do this." And I know it sounds a little bit kind of cuddly and all that kind of stuff, but I don't think it should be underestimated. Like what Danny said, the impact he's had on the game, but also more broadly speaking, because it's pioneer, man, pioneer.
yeah, and I'm just gonna show you guys the iconic photo before we move on, and I'm just gonna put some comments on the screen for a couple seconds. Yeah, man. Honestly, RP Pele, and let's try our best to try to move on. But of course, it's just not going to be as happy and everything else. But we'll try our best. Honestly, this is not somebody who's going to want his death mourned forever. But yeah, uh, let's move on, guys. Where do we begin? Bice, should we begin with your club and your crazy transfers? Bice, should we begin with Dami and Rack fighting over Gakpo, or we should begin with Arsenal and Joao Felix and Mudryk? And why are you guys laughing?
Go on, Miguel.
said-
Go on. You know you want to start.
Yeah, you know you want to.
Okay, let's go with Gakpo then. That's where you want to start, right? That's where you want to start, right? Let's talk about Gakpo.
No, I thought you were going to start with Joao Felix.
Oh no, I definitely wanted to start with that.
Go on, let's do that. Let's do that.
Where'd Vice go? Vice disappeared.
He couldn't handle the pending cooking that his team's going to get, so he ran. I hear it.
Nah. His team's not getting cooked. R.I.P. Pele, man. Pele, man. Every time. No Hamza today. Yo, Hamza, this would have been a great video for Hamza. Well, unfortunately, he couldn't make it. I tried my best to book him in for Hamza. You got to call him 3 days in advance.
Yeah.
You can't call him last minute like Vice. You can't message him 2 days in advance like Danny. You can't message him 4 hours in advance like Hamza. This guy, he will ask you, needs 4 days, literally.
When I used to do scrubs with him, I had to do it a week prior so that he had the whole week to plan for it. He's too crazy.
Okay, let's get straight into David Ornstein. David Ornstein said something mad, guys. David Ornstein said Arsenal are not only going for Mudryk, but reportedly we could be actually in for both Mudryk and Joao Felix. Now, not for a second do I believe it. Not for a second do I believe it. But but let me just play the audio so you guys can hear what he had to say about Mudryk, because it's kind of crazy.
We can't hear it.
Can't hear anything, man.
He's playing it for himself.
No.
You can't hear it. You can't hear it at all.
I don't.
Okay.
No. At all.
Okay, so let me get this sorted out. In the meanwhile,
Just tell us what he said. Just tell us what he said.
You guys think it's even realistic that we could get both?
I mean, Felix is alone. I think they want 22 million for the rest of the season.
I don't think it's realistic though at all to get both.
Is that wages and loan fee combined? 22 million.
22 million.
And they're not offering an option to buy us, from what I understand either. They don't want to offer the option to buy.
No, some clubs.
Covered? Yeah, perfect. Because I don't want to get copyright strikes. So let's play the audio.
From Shakhtar Donetsk. They also are keen to sign Joao Felix on loan from Atletico Madrid. He's been offered to a number of clubs, and at the moment the numbers are too high. Manchester United, Chelsea, many others. George Mendes, his agent, knows he needs to move Joao Felix because he's out of favour at Atletico Madrid. And Arsenal are keen to do it, but the numbers would need to come down for that to happen. And I think probably they will. It would only be a 6-month loan, and that's going to be very expensive, but he is a high-quality player. On Mudryk, Arsenal have had an offer rejected, an opening bid of 40 million euros, I think, plus 25 million in add-ons, so taking it to 65 in total. Shakhtar want 100 million euros for him. My sense is, and from speaking to people across the industry, that they will come down in the price that they're asking for him, and that a compromise will be reached. And Arsenal know that they need to kick on in the transfer market if they want to make that final push for the Premier League title, and of course for a top 4 finish if they don't win that title. And the Cronkies, the ownership, are backing them to go and get that title. So let's see what they do in the market.
Well, damn.
So with that being said, you guys heard it there. The Cronkies are backing the club. They're really pushing for the signing. Not for 1 second do I actually believe we're going to go for both. I think we're going to go for both and see which one we can end up getting. That's what I think it is.
But you need winger cover, though.
What?
You need winger cover.
I don't think we're getting both. I just want to make it clear, but that is what he's saying. So how do we take it as face value? What do we take away from this conversation?
I
Right?
mean,
Do you know what? Do you know what?
Hmm.
I think though, I know Bice is saying winger cover, but my own. I'm not saying it because it's an us thing. City do it, but the level of player that you're about to sign, even if it is for 6 months, are you sure that that's going to work? Because he's not a bench player. He's going to want to come in and start. So how does that work for your dynamic of your front three? Because then if you now don't win the league with him in, then people are now going to blame him and then it'd be trouble. Whereas
Who's
fine,
he?
just Felix only. Mudryk can come in and be a bench player, whatever. He's twerking, like that level of twerking.
it's disgusting. It's disgusting to see.
I've seen twerking in the strip club, but I've never seen that type of twerking before.
Oh,
It's disgusting.
I can't say that. I live in Atlanta. Listen, I've seen some crazy things. But
It's a family show, guys. It's a family show.
Yeah,
Family
let
show,
me
family
just-
show.
Let me just ask everyone in the comment section: do you believe Arsenal will end up with Joao Felix? Do you believe Arsenal will end up with Mudryk, or do you think Arsenal will end up with both? That is the question I think that needs to be
All right.
asked. Because
Can
when seeing the reports, just to keep you guys caught up, Atletico Madrid wants 8 million wages covered for the player, plus option to buy permanent, plus they want
Wait,
the
what?
they want an option to buy, a permanent option to buy in the future, plus 8 million loan fee covering his wages for this season. That's
Yeah.
what they want.
It's not. So it's not. Okay, you just need to get the terminology right. It's not option. If it's permanent, that's an obligation to buy. Obligation to buy or an option to buy. It's one or the other. So
Basically, I think it's one of those ones where it's like you trigger a certain amount of game time, you have to buy him kind of thing.
Obligation. That's disgusting from Atletico still.
That's disgusting. Don't
The
do
That's
that.
disgusting.
The Mudryk deal, this is what happened. They said Anthony's worth 86 million. Nah, our guy's worth more. That's Grealish worth 100. Nah, our guy's worth more. They're like, and then
Grealish is us, so we
we go to
understand.
them with a 55 million pound bid. Instead of coming back to us and saying add 15 more onto the bid, they outright rejected a 55 million pound bid on Monday, and now they're asking us to go back in with a 70 million pound bid, where we're giving them 60 million up front. So
okay, so
it's
this
kind of
so Liverpool have some experience dealing with Shakhtar. In 13-14, we went for Salah originally in the January window when he was still at Basel, and Chelsea came in and signed him because I think we offered 14 million and Chelsea offered 17 or whatever, and then Chelsea got Salah. So our fallback option was Konoplyanka, and from Shakhtar Donetsk at the time. The owner of Shakhtar Donetsk is a multi-billionaire, and basically he played hardball to the point where it got to the end of the window. Ian Ayre, who was our former chairman, was out there trying to do a deal, and then they said, you know what, forget about it. And Ian Ayre basically had to come back to Liverpool with his tail between his legs without signing Konoplyanka after Konoplyanka obviously wanted to come. So they can be really difficult to deal with when they know that the buying clubs are English clubs and they know they've got money. So you would hope that obviously the situation with Shakhtar, because of the war and everything, the financial constraints on them could pressure them, but the owner of Shakhtar is a real pain in the backside. So just have to bear that in mind.
You know what? The issue is they want 80 million. Their club is only worth 100 million. What the hell?
They're trying to increase the club value. You can't blame them. Like, look at the market. No, if we're being honest.
The Flunkies should just buy their club. Fuck buying players. Buy a club.
No, come on, Igal. Look, the thing is this, bro. The thing is this, bro. Like, look at it. Grealish, 100 million. Has Grealish been 100 million? Look like he's worth 100 million pounds recently? No.
Not in figure.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Anthony. Right now, out of all of the latest 100 million pound signings, Anthony has been the best. And if the bar is that, then what are we really doing? Like,
I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's keep it real. Nunes has been better than Anthony.
Huh?
Nunes has been actually better than Anthony.
It's a mid-off. It's a mid-off.
Raf, let me know what you think. People in the chat, let me know what you think. Based on this season, from the beginning of the season to now, who's had more of an impact in winning games?
But it's a mid-off. It's a mid-off. So what do you gain? It's a mid-off. They're both.
Fair enough.
They're both like.
No,
they
but
both
like, if we're talking realistically, I think you guys get Mudryk. You know what I'm saying? Bro, if he doesn't come, that level of twerking would be embarrassed. Like, the second-hand embarrassment is crazy looking at that guy's Instagram and stuff like that.
Nah, people saying Nunes a fraud.
But the thing is this, bro. Like, all right, say you get Joao Felix, right? He's like a Jesus. You know what I mean? He's a centre forward. He's gonna play up top.
You can't compare shit. You gotta give it to him. You know, this is what happens. Rock leaves for 2 seconds, his player's getting roasted.
Yo,
Yeah,
it's
listen,
ridiculous. But bro, like Felix up top suits like that Jesus type thing.
What do you think is gonna happen? You think Felix is just a bluff and Chelsea's gonna get him, or United's gonna get him, or he's gonna stay?
Let's not bring Chelsea into this right now. Chelsea is just you see what I'm saying? Those guys are slow. We just signed Detra Fofana. I don't know anything about the kid. He's probably coming in. Is he coming January or is he coming June? I don't remember.
Yeah. He's coming January.
Yeah. So when January 1st comes, we're looking for Buddy Ashley. We're looking at Buddy Ashley like a bid around 35 million. They're saying we're going for Enzo Fernandez as well, but that's not. We're talking about Arsenal now. I think the realistic one is Mudryk.
My guy's saying Arsenal wouldn't get out the Champions League group stages. Be honest. Bice, Danny, be honest.
No,
Arsenal are getting out the group stages.
Yeah, no, they will. They'd get out the one. Meaning you would get out. You'd get out
this
one.
Arsenal team right now, the way we're currently constructed and the way that we're currently playing, you pump us in the Champions League right now. Replace us with any other Premier League team in the Champions League. Don't we get out the group?
You'd get to the quarterfinals.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I think
Arsenal quarterfinal. Yeah, Arsenal special for sure.
Yeah. No, first round.
That's your contribution, eh?
No comment.
Okay.
No comment.
Let me just get the whole Arsenal segment out of the way completely while we're here. Everyone,
no
just
comment.
let me
No
know.
comment.
Do you believe Arsenal will make a signing in the January window
100%.
outside of Mudryk and Felix, or do you think it's just them two?
They have to.
So just about Felix, it's gonna come down to money. Like Ornstein said, look, if for example you can get him for Atletico paying half his wages, and like say you get a combined deal of I don't know 12, 13 million or something like that, loan fee plus wages. Arsenal on the verge of winning could win the Premier League, right? Is it worth it? Okay, sure. You can say that, but
no, I heard you yesterday.
Is it worth taking that risk? I would say for that kind of money, yeah, it probably is worth taking that risk. If it's 22 million, I don't know if Arsenal will do it. But there's other teams that are interested, like United are interested, but they're going to have it's going to be the same kind of thing. Like, are they willing to take that risk? I didn't know that Atletico are including an option to buy. I thought they weren't including an option to buy, so they could potentially resell him at the highest bidder in the summer.
But Rocks, they want him gone, bro. Like,
I honestly believe if we played Bayern this year, we beat them. I genuinely believe it.
Do you know what?
This delusion, bro. What's going on?
Wait, pause. Do you know what?
I have so much confidence in my team.
Wait. Do you know what? Do you know that I hate Arsenal? If they played them this second, because they have no goalkeeper and left back, Arsenal win. It's true. It's true.
Thank you.
That's true.
And they have no real striker. Let's be honest. Who do they have as their striker?
PSG and Real Madrid would be Arsenal.
Eddie and Nketiah would get more goals than Choupo-Moting at Bayern. Facts. Let's be honest. Anyways, enough. I've gone too far. Brighton, Arsenal. Quick score prediction. Score prediction quickly. Brighton, Arsenal. What are we saying? I went too far. I believe it, but there's no need for me to go that far. I didn't need to do that. Anyways,
who's at home?
Brighton are at home. Arsenal are away.
You know what, Rakesh? It doesn't matter because Brighton always seem to beat them home or away, so it don't really matter.
That's not true.
What do you mean? They have a better record against you than you do them since they've been back. You beat them like twice in 5 years.
Yeah. You might be right. Still.
That's not true. That's not true, Dabby. It's not true.
This is crucial though. No McAllister, no Caicedo. Could be in our favor.
No, but
it's just as if these guys just get lucky. Yo.
What's wrong with Caicedo? Is he injured?
We're lucky now? Is the agenda that Arsenal's gonna walk the league or something because we're lucky? What's going on, boys?
Wait. McAllister, they already played right and they looked the same. Not in a rude way because he's probably their best player, but they look fine. Why is Caicedo not playing?
I don't know. I think yellow cards, accumulation of yellow cards. Let me
true?
tell you one more thing. Yes, yellow cards. Abdi, thank you for the chat. Big up Abdi in the chat, man. He's on it today.
Oh,
Pablo,
that is
Pablo,
lucky,
what
man.
kind of picture
That
is
is
that, Pablo? Pablo,
See
you
what
need
I
a better
meant?
picture than that. Anyways, I was about to pose. I don't know why. But let me say this. When it comes to this game coming up versus Brighton, it will be a tougher game than the Tottenham game that we played at home, than the last game we had versus West Ham. This will be one of our more tougher games out of this next couple fixtures. I think Tottenham away, Brighton away at this moment in time is the same level of difficulty. Let's be honest.
No, I think Brighton away is harder because for you only because you seem to
That's
not
what
be.
I meant. I almost
Okay,
meant
yeah.
I meant it as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Tottenham's not as difficult.
I agree. Yeah.
And then even when you look at Newcastle at home, the game after this, that's going to be
Newcastle?
hard also.
I swear that's away.
It's at our house. Yeah, it's at our house. So it's at
You
the
see
house.
what I mean, bro? These, you know what? Let me say nothing.
Okay,
I have to save the agenda for later.
let's just get the Arsenal score out of the way. I'm gonna go with a 3-1 Arsenal victory. I think it's gonna be a flattering scoreline at the end of the day, where we just get a flattering scoreline, but it's gonna be a tight match.
With Andy and Ketia striking starting. Okay.
Bro, Eddie and Ketia is better than all your strikers right now.
Hey, I never said no.
Okay, fair enough.
He's not better than Martial, so he's not missing. I can't relate, but go off.
Martial, as long as he's fit, maybe.
But yeah, the thing is this. I see you guys winning. I see it's gonna be like, you see, the last game you played was just frustration, and then probably one goes in, and then it just comes easy after that.
People in the chat, let me give you your score predictions.
Probably like I'd say 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah.
We got 81 people in the chat, only 23 likes. Come on, let's get it at least up to 45, MJ, not 23, MJ. What is this? But yeah, Rax, what are you saying?
So Brighton playing well under De Zerbi. Apparently, everyone's really happy with how they're performing at the moment. And I wasn't. The first half of Arsenal against West Ham, it almost felt like you guys ran out of ideas. So I wasn't that impressed. Obviously, once you got the goal, you kind of went into overdrive, and West Ham capitulated a little bit. I don't think it'll be an easy game. Brighton's always a pretty tough place to go. I'm going to say 1-1. I think that they're missing some key players. I didn't know Caicedo was missing, but it'll be interesting to see if Arsenal can score goals. Then fine. I just didn't think your chance creation was that great the other day, but let's see. 1-1.
Fair enough. And just before Dami goes, I'm just gonna reply to this comment. Did you say Eddie Nketiah is better than Martial?
No.
What I said is if Martial can stay fit, he's better than Eddie Nketiah. That's the reality. He can't stay fit. That's the issue he has. His fitness is his issue. No, it's not about comparing the two players. Let's be honest. People compare Partey to players that he's categorically better than, but they always say if he can stay fit. It's a fair point. Anyways, go ahead. What are you saying, Dami?
If this is, I think Arsenal win this. Like, let's be real. Normally, I'd say Brighton. In 3 months' time, when you play this rerun, I'm probably going to say Brighton. I just feel like
at our house, at the Fortress.
When they beat you last time? Where was that?
When was the last time anybody beat Arsenal at the Emirates?
Wasn't it Brighton?
It was. You got me there.
Brighton, I'm telling you, they take the piss out of Arsenal. I don't know how they beat. The last two teams to beat Arsenal at Arsenal was Brighton this year and last season. Sorry, but
that Bissouma laugh was amazing.
It's amazing. Like, that's beautiful.
Basuma's laughing to the bank because he's doing an inside job at Tottenham for us. But yo, big up W's. W's in the chat. Everyone throw W's in the chat. Everyone throw RIPs actually in the chat for my guy Pele. Honestly, that is what we should be doing. Throw RPs in the chat. My guy's calling me deluded. You know what? Keep calling me deluded, because when we're actually in a circle of people who are actually deluded, I'm the more logical person in the room. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Because the other day, if you guys don't know, there was a 4-hour personal Twitter space about Mbappe coming to Arsenal, and I was the only person actually telling people we're not getting Mbappe. Stop
It's
it.
true, yeah. He's true.
Right. What is the world coming to? Eagle having to keep Arsenal fans level-headed.
Anyways, let's now go to Gakpo. Rack. What is it with Liverpool going into a room saying we want this player, give him to us for 35 million, and let's get it done before anyone else knows about it? How do you guys do this every time? It's crazy. You did it with Fabinho. You're doing it now with this guy. You just constantly go into rooms and get players with and I feel like you weren't even in a strong negotiation situation with Gakpo. You just went in and got him.
Nobody thought he was available.
It's mad. I got to give Liverpool credit. You guys do a great job. And banter aside, Manchester United, you're going to end up getting Depay or Choupo-Moting at this point, because you guys don't know what the hell you guys are doing over there. It's a mess. But yeah, there's two parts to this.
Yeah, so I think as it seems like there's a bit of a financial issue at United. Obviously, they probably overspent a little bit when what's his name came onto the market. Casemiro. I'm pretty sure they weren't expecting to sign Casemiro, but then obviously he became available. They put money up, and I think that's put them in a bit of a not difficult financial position, because United are going to be strong financially. They're just maybe a little bit cash flow short of cash flow at the moment. And I think they were probably trying to bargain down the price on Gakpo, and at that point it got to, and Liverpool obviously. Like Pep Linders, I know a lot of Liverpool fans are critical of Pep Linders. Pep Linders, before he worked at Porto, before he worked at Liverpool, he worked at Porto. Before he worked at Porto, he worked at PSV Eindhoven. I'm pretty sure that he had some kind of idea of what was more or less going on there. And ultimately, it got down to a price which we thought, okay, we're willing to take him at that price. Because for us, ultimately, right now, we need to get top four. It's quite worrying. We don't really know. I know dates have come out there, but people will say that. But look, the thing is, we need to get top four. It looks like Jota is going to be out for a while. It looks like Diaz is going to be out for a while. It's been talked about they're going to be back in March, but really we don't know that. There's a lot of football to be played between now and March, and if Gakpo helps us get top four, he will have done his job. And he could turn out to be much better than that, but at the same time, we will see. And even if he flops, because I haven't seen enough of Gakpo, so I'm a little bit kind of hesitant to praise him too much. Even if he flops, we can sell him for 25 million, in a year and a half's time.
You're saying
let me tell you something.
It looks like flop potential, yeah.
No.
It could be. Just because I don't know. I haven't seen him play enough. Different people I speak to. Some people say he's really fast. Other people say he's not so fast. He's sticky.
I wish Monty was here. I wish Monty was here, because that's Monty's guy.
I know.
Rack, he is going to be the second most clinical finisher in your team. Right now, Mo Salah is the most clinical. He's going to be the second most clinical.
His finishing is elite.
But that's what his numbers suggest. But he's massively overperforming his XG, and normally when you massively overperform your XG, you tend to revert to the mean.
Year after year, consistently.
No, but it's only this year that he's massively overperforming.
Yeah, but you have to listen to Raps. You have to listen to Raps, because they fell into the same trap with Nunes last season.
Yeah,
so you know what I mean, overperforming his XG, and then look at it now.
Oh, what happens to Nunes? This is a good point. Does Nunes go on the bench now?
No. I think Gakpo will play on the left, and Nunes will play centrally.
Okay.
And maybe when Bobby. No, because Diaz is. I'm concerned that Diaz and Jota are both going to be missing even past March. So I think this is a sign that he could be here. Yeah, I think so.
So my problem with all of this here, and I know you have to do strength and depth. No. My problem is that that's true. They're probably going to be missing, but when they do come back, what's going to happen? Like, well, who do you play? Because I think Diaz has potential to be one of the best players in the world. So if he's from the left, best players in the world, then why are you signing Gakpo? Like, wait, unless he goes as a number 9, but he's not good as a number 9. So what do you think?
Look, this is why. Go on.
I was
This
gonna
is
say
this is why I'm not so, because it looks well like we're also like super heavy on the left hand side, and we're looking a little bit light on the right hand side. So we're a bit lopsided in that
But
sense. You
Gakpo
could
can play
argue that,
off the right though. I saw him do it
no, he
for
mostly plays on the left. Let's be
yeah,
honest.
yeah, but he can play off the right. Didn't he do that in the World Cup? Play off the right.
No, he played on the left. His whole game is predicated on cutting inside and using his right foot.
No,
but he's crossing. He is decent at crossing with his left. So that could be something. I don't know. He's not a natural, because if he's going to play inside forward, playing him from the right hand side doesn't really make sense. I don't know. Look, ultimately, like I said, if he does okay, he gets us top 4. That's my expectations right now. Obviously, if he does much better, then competition is always good. Whoever's the best player will play.
Fair enough. Let me just say this before Bice goes in or anybody else goes in. There's the Manchester United side of things. They're in the mud. Are you guys going to even sign anybody, bro?
First and foremost, we're not in the mud because of this. Because I wanted him. Don't get it twisted, because we need another goal scorer.
Let me
But he's not
explain why you're in the mud. You guys, Cristiano Ronaldo left. His
Good.
wages are off the books. You have all this influx of money you saved, but now, all of a sudden, his wages are off the books. But they're saying they don't want to spend. What the hell are they talking about? His wages alone could pay for Joao Felix. His wages alone could pay for some of these players.
But first and foremost, they're trying to sell the club. Really and truly, when you look at logistically, if you're going to sell a club, why are you then putting more money, more debt on the club by buying more players? Which is one. And two, we need a striker, not another winger. We've got like 6 wingers. We need an out and out, because Martial can go left too. We need an out and out number 9 who can play. So buying Gakpo, really, so we should hopefully we do find someone on loan. But again, buying Felix just means another guy who's going to flirt with the box. We need a goal scorer, an out and out goal scorer, not another like 8 or number 9 who flirts, or a left winger who can play across.
Let me give you some names. Let me give you some names. These are the guys you're linked to. You're linked to Choupo-Moting.
Yes, I take him.
Memphis Depay.
I take him.
And that's it at this moment.
Yeah, I take. But then, Igal, let me ask you one question: who should we get? Like, who can we get? Don't give me Vlahovic, because I want him, but he's 85 mil.
I'm not gonna lie. If my man wasn't doing bet 65, I would have said go get Ivan Toney.
But he is.
No, but when they look at those 2 names, Igal, they suit everything Manchester United is looking for right now. Link up play up top, hold up play, very affordable, reasonable wages. Like, those 2 guys right now, I think they're probably 2 of the best. Me personally, I even wanted Memphis Depay. When we were going to Barca for Aubameyang, I thought we should have just looked past that and get Memphis Depay, because at the time, he suited what we needed up top. Like, decent player can run through, hold up, score.
Twice. What about that other guy, Morata?
So again, what I was saying about Memphis Depay, he can run through, hold up, play decently, score with the best of them, and cause some of it, bro. It's different. You said Alvaro Morata, bro. I don't want to see him in blue ever again. Even when he wears blue for Atletico Madrid that one time, it disgusted me. I don't want to see him in blue ever again.
Who does he play for? Who does he play for?
I don't care, bro. I'm telling. I sold all of my Morata stocks after that first season, bro.
I think he's at Atletico Madrid, no?
Yeah.
Oh,
Atletico Madrid, right? Am I wrong?
Okay. He could be. He could be at Juventus, one of the 2.
Something like that. But yeah, Rakesh, you back?
No. So yeah, back to this thing, bro. Like United, that striker that they need, I think Depay or Choupo-Moting, perfect.
Same. I agree.
Morata scores 3 goals for Spain. Iga. Okay. I don't think he's clinical at all.
He's not.
He's not
like
clinical.
His best. Remember when he came back to Madrid after that Juventus spell? I think that was one of his best years at Juventus as well. Like, those 2-3 years were his best. And I feel like when he went back to Real Madrid and they didn't play him, it stagnated him. It really stagnated him. He hasn't improved or gotten worse since. He's just gotten worse. He's just been mid ever since then.
You know what?
Madrid
I think
hindered his progress as a player.
I don't think
Agree.
people rate players unless they see them week in week out performing and or hear their names in light. And I'm not gonna lie to you, when he's doing well, it's going under the radar because
No, but it's
he's
not
not
even
in.
doing well. He never consistently does well because he's never consistently picked. That's what I'm saying. When he went back to Real Madrid, his progress and development as a striker, as a player, went full stop because
To be
he wasn't being played. He wasn't even being used correctly when played. So
By the way, this is another reason why United's in the mud. Apparently, you can't pay 8 million, but you
Oh.
gave Ronaldo
But
foregone.
the only thing I'll say about this money, this stuff that Man United can't afford, like I know it's something that Liverpool have been tarred with a little bit over the years, and I think that you also need to bear in mind it's not to their advantage to say like, oh yeah, remember Man United in the past? I said, oh yeah, don't worry, we can afford any player. And what did that get them? That got them, made them overpay for every single player. If you always act a little bit like, or at least put it out there, I know fans don't like to hear it, but if you put it out there all the time, okay, yeah, we're having some financial difficulties. Okay, yeah, we can't pay for this. It helps you a little bit. It could help you a little bit with negotiations. From a fan's point of view, obviously we want to banter United, but it's not to United's advantage publicly to come out and say, oh yeah, we got shitloads of money, we'll pay whatever you want.
Okay,
Facts.
let me just say this, guys. We got a lot of stuff to talk about with Chelsea also and City, Man City, Chelsea. So let's just try to move on. But before we do that, quick score predictions: Wolves, Man United. What are we saying?
oh, that's a tough game for United. Wolves always play like Real Madrid against them, bro. Uh,
The
like
Medved.
my cousin's a United fan. Every time he sees Wolves on the schedule, bro, he just goes into a deep depression because he says Wolves will give up 5 goals to one person this week. United come and then it's like they want to play like the prime, like the Jose's Real Madrid, bro. Nothing at the back, nothing at all.
Can I just say one thing? I'm going to give United some credit. Rashford's on form. He's performing well. Him alone could be the difference in this game because I don't see Wolves
True.
being able to stop him. And I think Manchester United squeak past Wolves. It could be a 2-1, but they don't care. They just need to get whatever results they can. And under Ten Hag, they're looking a little bit better, but they
Little
haven't.
bit. These guys look
They're
completely
looking a
different.
little
It's a
bit better.
facelift.
I think they do look better, but it's also understand league position wise and points wise, they're nowhere better off than last year. That's the reality. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
but you gotta remember this was the same thing we were talking about with you guys coming into the season. It's not this season is not gonna be an appearance season like face value points. It's gonna be how guys play, how people try to turn things around. So
It's not
in
an
that
insult.
regard, United are overachieving.
It's not an insult, but I'm just basically
No, I know
showing
it's not an insult.
that
I'm just
they're
clarifying.
improving, but it's gradual improvement. It's not
Igal,
it's visible. It's not
Igal,
massive.
if we can get top 6 and get that Carabao Cup, I'm fine.
Okay, fair enough. What's your score prediction?
Sure.
Maybe like 3-1 Man United, maybe 3-1, 3-2.
Mike, what was yours? Before
I'm
we
saying
move
2.
to-
I was agreeing with yours 2-1. I say they squeak past as well.
Okay, Rakesh, you got a double header. So you got to give us Wolves, Man United scoreline. Then you're going to start the Leicester, Liverpool line.
Okay, so Wolves, they beat our other nemesis, Everton, last minute. And I'm going to predict they're going to get the double header and vanquish our other foe, other kind of historical foe, Man United. And they will beat United 2-1.
2-1. Okay.
2-1.
Now,
Yeah, 2-1.
let me just paint the picture. Mo Salah Christmas curse last year versus Leicester. Leicester beat you guys in your ground. Again, this time, a year later.
They didn't. They beat us. They beat us at. They didn't beat us
it
at
was at their
Anfield.
ground. It was at their ground. My bad. He missed a penalty. It was at their ground. A year later, could they do the same thing? Let me know. Liverpool, Leicester.
No, Leicester are shit. Leicester are diabolical. They're one of the worst teams, and if they don't watch themselves, they started getting a bit of form towards the end of just before World Cup, but they're still shit, and we should be wiping the floor with them. Like literally, if we don't beat them by at least three goals, I'll be disappointed.
Clean sheet?
Minimum, I would say minimum 3-0, but I mean. I'm more with Sohan. I think it's going to be closer to Sohan's prediction of 5-0 than to my prediction of 3-0. So I'm going to say 3-0 and stay humble.
Okay, that's
if
humble.
that can be.
3-0 is humble.
Leicester are that bad, man. Leicester are that bad. They might as well play like a secondary school team or something.
I think I gave you guys a win versus Leicester, but it was a tight win. Like I think it was like 2-3-1 or something, or 2-1 like that. That's what I'm going with the 2-1 Liverpool win. I think you guys just don't keep clean sheets anymore. Like it's just this is a thing where you just somehow concede a dodgy goal every game. Bice, what are you saying?
Sure, I'm saying it should be a win. But again, last season, remember they played Amartey and indeed at centre back last season, and Liverpool couldn't win. So it's all about how you view it. Obviously, this Leicester team is far worse than what it was last year, and last year was just injuries. But this season, it's not even like it's injuries; they're just shit overall. So it should be a Liverpool win. I'd say probably. Yeah, because Gakpo don't come until Jan. I'd say probably 3-0. Should be 3-0. I predict Nunes gets a goal. I know, right? Nunes, Salah double.
Yeah, I'm going 3-0, 3-1. I think maybe they have like a little weather of the storm where Leicester are on top, then Liverpool get the goal and just blow them away. And I think maybe I guarantee you Nunes or Salah get on the score sheet in this game. So,
Okay. Now we're going to talk about Declan Rice and Enzo Fernandez going to Chelsea Football Club for £200 million. That is what they're saying, Vice. £200 million, two midfielders, very young midfielders. Your midfield could be sorted for the next 10 to 15 years. What are you saying? Are you going to be happy with Declan Rice and Enzo Fernandez for
Declan Rice is way too overpriced. I still
Eric,
believe that.
just so you know, 120 of it is Enzo.
Okay.
The rest of it is Rice.
Still overpriced. Because when I look at it, right, last season when they were flying high and everything was good and relaxed and calm and he was, put on every newspaper in the world, they were saying he was 100, 150. Come January, February, they fall off a cliff and everybody just seems to forget that he was playing almost every game. We saw in the World Cup, very limited when it comes to playing passes. Very limited when pressed as well. And don't tell me he didn't have players beside him that could help.
Oh, did we lose him?
Sorry about that. Apologies. Don't tell me he didn't have players beside him that couldn't help him beat a press. So I just feel like, for what he's shown, like he's not £80 million. If anything, that World Cup dropped his value a fair bit. So I'm saying
His World Cup dropped his value.
Yeah.
I thought Rice wasn't.
He didn't have a good World Cup. Don't lie to yourself.
What are you judging his World Cup based on?
The game against USA and what happened once they came out of the group. Every time he's placed under significant pressure, and let's be real, what Chelsea always needed is someone who can break the press, beat the press.
So, Bryce, let me just give you some names, okay? Chelsea are holding current interest in several midfielders. And also, Rack, this is very important for you too, because these are similar names you guys are going after. So you have Enzo Fernandez, Jude Bellingham, who are some of the players that are under consideration. Then you have Declan Rice, Moisés Caicedo, and Laviat. In addition to, of course, the other names like McAllister and other people that are
Cornet. We threw our hat in the bin for that guy.
Right now, do you do the Brighton type approach and you get some of these more unknown guys and one of the big name signings, or do you get two big name signings like a Jude Bellingham and a Rice?
I always want Chelsea to go for the best. I always want Chelsea to go for the best of the best. Don't get me wrong, and we obviously have an owner who wants to splash some cash. Whether that's going to continue after next summer.
What?
Is it? We have an owner who wants to splash cash, bro.
1 second. Breaking news. Is this accurate?
I mean, I don't know who Terra Deporte is. I mean, I don't know how they would know, but sounds like a Spanish publication.
70 million.
Crazy. You guys continue. What were you saying?
No,
Maybe-
but I'm saying
maybe-
like I
Sorry,
want
go.
Chelsea to go. I want Chelsea to get somebody decent. I like how I think like right now we're just playing okay. Like that last game, we just played okay. We never really got out of second gear, and like the second half, a tail of two halves. I want what I'm focusing on is a right back. So I'm saying I think we'll try for Enzo. If we get him, we'll get him. If not, I'm not. I wouldn't be upset if we got Declan Rice. It's just like the tribalism and the stand culture that's going to be around him. That's what I'm not looking forward to. Like I don't need any more stands in the fan list. Don't call me a stand over Sterling ever again. Because some stuff that I've seen in the past few days about players in my team, I know Dami's seen it as well. What I have been doing for Raheem Sterling is nothing compared to what these guys have been doing.
Oh,
So-
yeah,
Do you know
One
what?
second. I just want to show you Liverpool Caicedo thing might be advanced. He's right. It might be actually seriously advanced because I don't know how credible these guys are. I don't know the level of credibility. So anyone who's asking how reliable they are, I don't know. But Brighton have communications with the people at Liverpool, and they have not accepted any proposal made yesterday. Below the interest, Liverpool are preparing a second proposal, and it does not reach the 70 million euros. So basically, they're just saying Liverpool have not yet matched the valuation that Brighton want. That's it.
So,
That's it.
I mean, with Caicedo, we tried for him at the end of the summer window. Once we finally kind of came to the conclusion that our midfield needs improving, but obviously that was the last few days of the window. Brighton didn't have any opportunity. They rejected the proposal and didn't have an opportunity to get anybody else in. So he's definitely a player we've been looking at, as we've been looking at Enzo and Jude. Obviously, Potter's got that relationship with Caicedo as well, so that's something to keep an eye on. I think he's a good player. I haven't seen too much of him, but he's been a player that we watched him even before he went to Brighton. But we like to see players who do it in Europe and do it in the Premier League, ideally. If we got him, I guess I'd be happy. I don't know enough about him, but I'm pretty sure that if they've been watching consistently, I'm pretty sure that he'll be a good player to look at. With Enzo, we do hold an interest in Enzo, but I think Chelsea right now look like the only team that are willing to meet that buyout clause. And if that's the case, then that's also going to have if for example West Ham see Chelsea are going to pay 120 million euros for Enzo, they're probably going to want something similar for Rice. That's not going to help you.
Man, we're paying for a World Cup winner, man, not some Europa League
I know.
dropout, bro.
I know. But I'm just saying from West Ham's point of view, that's what they're going to, just like Igal was saying about, teams will look at what other people are doing. That's not going to help your negotiating position with Rice, and obviously he's been linked with Chelsea for
How
a long
reliable
time.
is Simon Phillips? Because apparently Enzo Fernandez has agreed that he's willing to accept Chelsea's proposal in January. That's basically meaning personal terms are ready.
Well, the Chelsea fans will have a discussion in house, and I'll get back to you guys. Get back to you guys on that. We have to have a in-house meeting.
We don't.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not bantering Chelsea because I know these guys, even though they got a new owner, they could speed up. They have a cheat code. They have sugar daddy money right now. Even though they're not.
We always had that. But you guys told us that we wouldn't anymore, and we're just splashing cash in their faces right now.
Vice, I'm not gonna banter you because you're still gonna finish seventh. But this season's gonna be a lot of hard work for you.
Listen, I don't really want to hear about the midfield. If I'm being completely honest, we have 3 areas that we need drastic help on. Drastic.
Just before you go, Rack, if you have to go, bro, you can go. Just let us know. But yeah, man. Anyways, continue.
3, right back. Right back is a must in January. Right back is a must.
Reece James?
Re-aggravated his knee, and he's going to be out for the next 3 to 4 weeks. He's going to be out for the entire month of January. But even then, I don't want to see him until the middle of February, because there's this thing where the minute guys are available, we play them. Like if it's 4 months, we're going to play them right at the 4 month after the 4 months is over. We don't give them any time. 3 to 4 weeks, I don't want to see him to the middle of February. 2, the midfield area. Yeah, we do need an additional midfielder. Injury pro. Because I'm hearing our midfield is injury prone. Kovacic just got back. Ziyech just got back like a day and a half ago. I don't want to see nothing like that about the midfield. We need a midfielder. So if Enzo's that guy, Enzo has to make a difference. And 3, well, we already addressed the striker. We got Detro Fofana. I heard that we have an agreement for Nkunku for July, so he joins July 1st. I don't know how concrete that is, but we need a backup winger. We need a creative winger. That's all, and that's what we need. We need a creative, bro. Aspi, bro. If I see Aspi on the field for more than 20 minutes, 25 minutes again, I'm gonna throw some. And we have City
let me
coming up.
ask you this. Let me ask you this. Any hopes for Chelsea this week?
This against City, bro.
Against
Just,
City, yeah.
bro, you know that meme with the guys with the casket. Come on, no. Every time Chelsea get, you realize
The
it.
napkins in the air.
Look at our schedule this season, Igal. Every time we've picked up form, we've either had to play a City or a this or that. I'm just waiting on like January. We need to see what we get in January, right? But midfielders.
It's funny because you guys are flat track bullies. That's what you guys are. You guys bully teams that are shit, and then when it comes to tough teams, you struggle.
But bro, we haven't even been beating shit teams. Yeah. Do you realize that?
You watch second half of the season. Mason Mount is going to show up versus Nottingham Forest tomorrow or whenever you play, and then you're going to have Havertz showing up, and then when it comes to the Chelsea game, they're going to all disappear. Then you're going to have them show up again versus Fulham, and then when it comes to the next game where you have another big team, they're going to disappear. And then that's just...
You know what I mean? It's the story of Chelsea. It's the story of Chelsea. Yes. But like Graham Potter's been saying some interesting things. He's been speaking. He's starting to grow up here, which I like. He's starting to grow up here. He's starting to speak. He's starting to say, yo, no, he's saying that, yo, you know what I mean? People seem to doubt him and this and that. You know what I mean? He's going to, he has a point to prove, bro. They forget why he's at this level. And, I like that, bro. You know me, I like a bit of ego. I'm from the West, bro. I like my athletes with some personality, my coaches with some ego, you know what I mean? That's my thing. We've always had that at Chelsea. Look at the managers we've had. These guys are egoists at the highest level. So that's what we need. We need some ego in the team. We need some personality. We need some belief.
You know what? Before we finish off, let me go to everyone in the chat. Ask us whatever questions you guys want to ask us. There's a lot of games that have to go down, so we got to do quick match predictions. Rakesh, if you're there, let me know. Dami, what are you saying on Chelsea? Anything you got to say before we move on?
It's just the one thing about this. Is it Bashadil guy? What's going on with that?
Buddy Ashley.
Who the hell is that?
Oh, he plays.
They're signing everybody now. What the hell's going on with these guys?
Hey, it's not everybody. It's not everybody. We've been looking at
the Fofana guy too.
Yeah, but we've been had Buddy Ashley on our radar though. Like,
but Fofana?
Huh?
What about Fofana?
He's injured. But plus, remember, like, when we were looking at Monaco for through many, Buddy Ashley was one of those players at centre back that we were looking at. He was. He's decent. Like, he's a good centre back. There's no issue there. Promising. He's young, French, strong. He can play with the ball at his feet. Yeah, so we're preparing a bid anywhere between 30 to 35, and he's interested in joining Chelsea. So yeah, I don't mind it. I would love to have that because we'd still needed an additional centre back because Thiago Silva's on his way out.
Yeah. Yo, people, hit that like button. Let's get this video past 100 likes if we can, please.
Yeah, my thing is, it's not even real to be wrapped up with Miser. Like I said, they need players, but just be careful because you need players in the summer. You can't buy 5 now, having bought 5 or so in the summer, and then go and buy 5 more in the summer again. Yeah. That's 15 players, knowing that you're going to then sell on. Like, just Ted Boehly needs to chill.
He really needs to calm the hell down. And plus, I'm hearing that we're close to renewing Conte's contract.
Rakesh, what are you saying?
What? So, one thing that I've been impressed with Chelsea, like I had my doubts about Todd Boehly and all that kind of stuff. Understandably so, I think. But sorry, 1 second.
Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to put it on some members only chat. I meant to put it on subscribers only. So yeah, My apologies. If you
Exclusive,
guys want
man.
to become
Exclusive
members,
club.
no, if you guys want to become members, you can become members also. My apologies. But yeah,
So I've been impressed at the recruitment team that Chelsea have assembled. They all come from pretty reputable backgrounds in such a short space of time. I didn't think that would necessarily happen so quickly. So it kind of gives me a bit of confidence that even if Chelsea miss out on Champions League football, they can still recruit well. Because it is possible to recruit well if you're not in Champions League, as most of us here have found. Like, you know, Liverpool, a big
Look
part
at
of Liverpool's
Arsenal.
recruitment has
Look at
come.
Arsenal.
Yeah,
Look at Arsenal.
Yeah,
look at Liverpool.
like,
But yeah, you can look at Arsenal if you want. But yeah, so that's been impressive. I don't know anything about Badiashile. Comes with a decent reputation. He apparently just missed out on the French squad, but obviously we know that France are a really, really strong team, and especially in the centre back position, they're stacked, proper stacked. But yeah, I mean, look like they'll do well. Who are Chelsea playing this weekend? Is it City?
Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest,
Oh,
then
okay.
City.
Yeah. Okay,
What are we
Nottingham
saying?
Forest. Nottingham Forest. Chelsea will win 4-0.
Yeah.
Where are they getting 4 goals from? Damn.
They'll find
I don't know. Oh yeah.
They'll find
France. No France, man. Wicked you.
from the back of the sofa.
100%. 4 of the Queen's fan. Not even the Queen's. The King's fan is 4.
What are you talking about? The King's finest.
4 goals. 4.
You're not getting 4 goals. You're lucky if you get 3.
All right. Watch
You're
and
lucky.
laugh. Just watch and laugh.
We'll see. But right now, Chelsea, Nottingham Forest. What are we saying, people in the chat? Everyone, let me know. Demi.
I'm gonna go 2-3-0, something 3-0 maybe, something like that. Nottingham Forest are absolutely dog shit. So I'm not really. They beat Liverpool, but Liverpool at the time were a complete mess. So it doesn't really matter. Like, I think Chelsea win 3 or 4-1, something like that.
Okay, so let's now go through the Premier League fixtures quickly and just look at the fixtures and say our score predictions. Rakesh, if you're there, please do come back. If you're there, we got 3-0. Okay, let's go straight into it. West Ham, Brentford. What are we saying?
Draw.
West Ham, Brentford. What are we saying? West Ham, Brentford. I'm saying West Ham lose to Brentford. West Ham are shit right now.
Ivan Toney's going to try and stat pad as much as he can before he goes on his little sabbatical. So I think he's going to...
Bro, he's going to be gone for well over 2 years. Easy.
Huh?
He's going to be gone
2
for
years?
Where'd you get up?
2 years?
No, because...
That's longer than people get done for actual dope. Yeah, but that's actual doping. Like, players get doping.
260 bets, bro.
And how many did Joe Barton
Sure,
do?
but how much were they for? £1 each?
Joe Barton guy who got 18 months did like 60.
No, I heard he did 1,000, no?
What?
I mean, who knows? I don't know. It depends. But I mean, a 2-year ban is a bit crazy. It depends also. Like, are these all Brentford games, or are these games for other teams? Like, I understand what you're saying. Like, we don't know the details of it, but to give them a 2-year ban that'd be absolutely crazy. Because if you get caught doing performance enhancing drugs, you're getting like a 1-year ban. So, like, it needs to be in some kind of context, right? But I think West Ham at home will win.
What happened to Onana is nowhere near comparable to what he did.
Yeah,
the man got caught and then did another extra 30 bids.
Wait. Joey Barton did 15,000 over all sports and 1,260 on football. So there's levels to this. 1,000.
Yeah.
Come on.
You know what? Ivan Toney, I think he's at least going to get a year minimum, but I'm thinking
6 months, man.
Hey, I don't think they're going to make it so simple where his contract is going to have. He's going to.
So
have
you're saying they're going to make an example out of him?
No, I think they will. I really do believe it.
Please.
Don't forget.
Okay.
Don't forget.
Anyway, West Ham beat Brentford because West Ham are at home. They win 2-0.
Okay, moving on to Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, because we already spoken about Man United, Liverpool.
I think
let's talk
Miguel,
about
I'm gonna have to. Igo, I'm gonna have to make a move, man. But peace out, yeah.
No worries.
Take care, everybody. I'll
Yeah,
speak to you guys
take it
soon.
easy, Rats.
Big up, Rakesh. Bournemouth, Crystal Palace. I'm just gonna go Bournemouth upset versus Crystal Palace. What are we saying?
Nah,
Probably a
Bournemouth are
draw.
shit.
Maybe a draw. Yeah, 1-1, 2-2. Both are shit, really. I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's a mid.
It's middle.
All
First
right.
time was good.
Yeah, Man City, Everton. This is a good one. Man City, Everton.
Oh, maybe 5-0.
5-2.
Yeah,
5-2.
I seen Sky Sports put out an accumulator, and they said the poll result was 1% said it would be a draw, 0% said Everton would win, 99% of the votes said Manchester City would win.
Yeah, they're gonna
Come
get
on.
battered. They're gonna get battered.
Yeah, I say HAALAND hat trick again.
Frank can go now. I said he'd outlast Gerrard, and he did. So you know what I mean, now it's time to take the ball up gracefully. Come on,
There you go, Frank. You can get sacked gracefully now, respectfully.
100%.
Okay, and then let's just end it off. Any games that you guys want to talk about? Leeds, Newcastle. That's a good one.
That could be a good game because Leeds take it to them, but I still think Newcastle will beat them very convincingly.
Yeah, like 3-0 Newcastle.
Yeah, I agree. 3-0 maybe.
This thing's acting up. Okay, so yeah, there we are. Newcastle,
Yeah.
what we saying? 3-0?
3-0.
3-0.
I don't think Newcastle keep a clean sheet this game. They can't
don't?
keep clean sheets every game, bro.
I mean, Sven Botman is a beast, bro.
Do you think it's because of him?
Yeah, he anchors that defense.
I think it's because they control the games a little bit better. That's the main reason.
Yeah. Gramars, Almiron.
You know the real reason why Newcastle are playing better is because they have owners that care and they've invested in their training facilities to get them
Three
at their
things.
best.
I think it's three main things. Number one, Eddie Howe is the number one reason.
Okay.
And number two, it's the players. And I think the club owners are three. It's like 1A, 1B, 1C. Like they're all equally important. Like the players have completely bought into what Eddie Howe has said. And like, you know what I mean? The ownership, I feel like they're all on one page. And I think that's what's up.
Look at this comment. I told you Aubameyang was washed. Remember when he was doing the dancing video with his kids in the shirt? He knew he was scamming you guys.
Please.
Man knew he was scamming you guys when he was dancing with that kid. He knew he scammed you guys. Tottenham, Aston Villa. Can we be honest? Aston Villa whooped Tottenham's ass, right?
No, I think Tottenham will win.
Yeah. It's gonna be a 3-2. Aston Villa's gonna be up 2 by like halftime.
What about the fact that the World Cup winner is back?
Coutinho, he may not play though.
He's not gonna play though, dude. You think he comes right back and plays right away?
Oh, the guy is gonna play, man. The guy's gonna play.
Alright.
To be fair, he was faking injury to play at the World Cup. He got his wish, so he now has no excuse.
He's ex-Arsenal also. He's gonna want to play Tottenham.
Yeah, he's got no excuse.
I'm surprised we didn't spend more time talking about Haaland because Haaland's a superhuman.
He's disgusting.
The guy has more goals than your whole club, bro. It's crazy.
Do you want me to walk off the stream right now? Let's not bring it up.
Nah. Let's end it there. Let's end it there, people. It's been a great
bring
stream.
it up.
Bro, you know what? This is actually crazy. The video, it felt like it was longer than an hour and 10 minutes today, but it was a quick one. But yeah, man, let's not forget the reason how we started this video. RIP to the legend, man. Very unfortunate circumstances that he's passed away, and it's just a situation where at least he passed away peacefully. You know what I mean? And it's not like he was in pain or anything.
Wasn't
and
in pain.
He got to see his goodbyes to everybody. He spoke to everyone. He got to see the end of the World Cup. It's just little things like that. But yeah, man, the guy lived a celebration. It's a celebration of his life, less of a mourning of his life. And you know what, Bice and Dami, I'll see you guys soon. I think we're gonna have another video at the end of the week after all the games are done on the 5th. But for now, catch you guys soon. Big up everyone. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and don't forget Arsenal's winning the Premier League.